Hey, everybody. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are watching from on this globe. Happy to see you, everybody, again for this special live episode of that crypto show, where we are going to witness not only how dear Jerome Powell or the Federal Reserve Bank in America is going to decide in terms of interest rates. Are we maybe going to see 0.5%, maybe 0.25%, or maybe no rate hike after all? It's also, in my opinion, an interest rate decision that is going to kind of determine the fate of the US banking system. And because it's such a complex matter, I'm of course joined by more than capable fellow YouTubers again. First and foremost, welcome Jonathan, aka the myth, the legend, the man, Lips42. How are you doing? Happy to see you.
Oh, I'm good. I'm all good. Thanks for being here. No, not thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me be here.
I have to thank you for being here. Yeah.
Yes.
Second of all, we have Alex from Crypto Magazine joining us as well. And I know you guys have been waiting for him because last week during our inflation stream, he was scalping the market, made some very beautiful trades. So he was in high demand of coming back. And I'm happy he agreed on being back with us here today. We are, of course, looking forward to see more of your scalping magic, Alex.
Thank you for having me. It will be a nice trade today. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so too. We were actually also supposed to be joined today by the Queen of Scalping, Natalie, but sadly, Natalie has fallen sick, so she decided to stay in bed, drink some chamomile tea, and hopefully is watching us here on her TV or her mobile phone. Natalie, greetings from us here. Get well soon. Again, she sends her regards. However, she promised also that she's going to be live again tomorrow with her newly set up channel. Talking about channels, of course, if you click into the description of this video, you will find links to all the YouTube channels of everybody who's co-hosting here with me today, plus Natalie. So I highly recommend you guys to check it out and see what those guys have to offer. I'm a regular visitor of all three channels. I have to tell you so much. And despite my 25 years of experience, every week I'm learning new stuff when it comes to trading. Good, guys. So we don't have so much time, actually, 25 minutes to go until the interest rate decisions. If you allow me, I would like to be the first one today to talk a little bit. There has been a lot of stuff going on, in my opinion. We've been seeing a new, let's call it like it is, a new banking crisis in the USA with Silicon Valley Bank going down and many other banks also being in big trouble, especially so-called local banks. And I would like to take the opportunity here to explain a little bit what is going on there. Because it's, when you hear something like banking crisis, maybe those of you who have been around since 2008 already might remember the last banking crisis. It always had the flavor of, there are those bankers who take like huge risk, who over leverage, who buy risky assets. And, when those investments fail, then somehow the state has to come and give them money, free money, that they can continue to do their stuff. And I think this is not the case this time. This is really special and is also especially dangerous. And it puts the whole interest rate decision today into a new context, in my opinion. So what happened there is, and to understand what happened there, in my opinion, we really just need to look at what happened in terms of interest rate development. As we have witnessed now, for most parts of 2022 and 2023, we've seen the Federal Reserve Bank massively hiking interest rates from all the way down here at 0.25% to now at the moment 4.75%, potentially maybe 5% or even higher today. Now, you would think like maybe that's not so much of a problem because as a bank, when I get deposits from my clients, the core of my business is that I can take this money and I can lend it out as credit to somebody else. And if I pay something like 0.5% for somebody depositing money and I'm lending it out for 3.5% or 4%, that should be good business. especially since I'm, as a bank, allowed to do that leveraged. So I can take 10,000 of your deposit and give out, let's say, 100,000 of credit. Now, the other option I can do is to not give it out as credit, but to deposit it actually as money, also leveraged. And what we saw, for example, Silicon Valley Bank doing there is that they bought a lot of so-called US Treasury bonds. These are bonds that the US government is giving out in order to refinance themselves. So you basically, for example, can give your money to the US government for, let's say, 10 years or 1 year. Then you'll get an interest rate payment for that. And after the bond is matured, so after 1 year or 10 years, whatever the maturity of a bond is, you'll get your money back. Now, the big problem is in terms of Silicon Valley Bank, they invested a lot in those bonds at around about 1.5% of interest. So that was, let me just see, yeah, that's this one here. So back then in 2020, actually, they chose to invest a lot in those long-term treasury bonds at around about 1.5%. So that was here. Now, in the meantime, because the Federal Reserve Bank hiked the interest rate so much, for those 10 years of maturity, instead of 1.5%, you get now something like 3.5%. And the tops, you got like 4.2%. So the treasury bonds you bought back then are worth less, of course. Why should I, want to buy a treasury bond with 1.5% if I can get like 3.5% or 4% right now? And if you do this on a leverage basis, so let's say you have like 100 million in deposits from your clients, and you buy leverage 1 billion, so a 10x leverage, you're utilizing that all, you buy those treasury bonds. And then suddenly your clients hear like, well, they are getting 1.5%. If they would have to sell those treasury bonds right now, they could only do so at a loss. Maybe people would all just be, interested to buy those back not at 100%, but at 90%, or maybe even just 80%. If you invested 1 billion US dollars out of your 100 million in client deposits, and it's just worth 90% now, then you've lost your client deposits. The 100 million are gone. If you're forced to sell, the 100 million are gone. You are basically bankrupt. And this is what happened to Silicon Valley Bank in a nutshell. Now, I'm oversimplifying this, of course, a little bit here, but just for you to understand. So they invested actually in a conservative asset. They did so leveraged, and now it's gone. And we see the same thing happening with a lot of local American US banks out there. So a lot of those banks that I call them mom and pop banks, that maybe you go to, your family has been banking with this bank for a long time. You have your mortgage rate with this bank financing your house. You bring your hard-earned money there. They kind of all have the same problem, also in resulting that people are withdrawing their money from those banks, forcing those banks to sell those assets to realize the losses they are sitting in right now, meaning we are seeing a concentration of deposits at just a couple of large banks in America. In my opinion, this is a big problem because it's kind of a Blade Runner scenario, if you ask me. You have like a couple of large banks, JP Morgan, Citigroup, and Morgan Stanley, and so on and so forth, that are going to concentrate all the assets of companies, of individual depositors in America, and that basically also in the future are going to decide the politics in America. So this is the problem. And if we are seeing now, today, the Federal Reserve Bank hiking interest rates, this is going to make the problem even worse, because with every 0.25% higher interest rates, both short-term and long-term treasury bonds holdings are going to become less worth, forcing eventually the banks to sell. All right, now I talked a lot, but I think that was just important to understand, what is at stake here today, in my opinion. Alex, Lip, I, of course, would love to hear your take on that. What are you guys expecting today?
Please. You can start.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm expecting. That's a tough one. I'm also thinking about the fact that you talked about how Silicon Valley Bank invested in the 10-year treasury bonds, and usually, what I find interesting is that they didn't have any, like, the risk management must have been pretty bad, because if you're a massive bank, which the 16th largest bank in America is a massive bank, right?
Yeah.
By any standard. So if you invest in long-term treasury bonds, that's very risky, and especially if you can't hedge it, right? And especially if you don't have any alternative strategy to hedge that. Like what most people do, or what most banks do, as far as I understand, is invest in like 3 months. Uh, that will mature in 3 months or something like that, 3 to 6, or so that they're not as exposed, because now you're exposed for 10 years, right? And if you have to sell, you're going to sell at a loss. So I think the worry here is that more banks have a really bad risk management, and if that's the case and they hike rates, I think that would be really a problematic scenario. And maybe that's also why maybe that's a good reason not to hike to hike rates.
Let's hope so. I mean, yeah, it's of course not only the 10 years treasury bonds. Just an example. They also invest, of course, in treasury bonds with lower majority, so a year, a couple of months, 3 years. And one of the problems also there is that we saw the interest rate curve inversing. So right now, so the yellow line here is a 1-year treasury bond. The blue line is a 10-year treasury bond. So you have a higher yield right now on the 1-year treasury bond, 4.4%. On the 10-year treasury bond, just 3.55%. But I mean, it doesn't really make sense, right? And to that, why should I get less interest rate, when I invest longer? But this is really adding to the flavor that, especially when it comes to those short durations of treasury bonds, that we are seeing the unrealized losses, potentially realized losses, there being even higher than on the longer time frame.
Yeah, it's definitely a risky situation for the whole. But I hope that what happened with Silicon Valley Bank and what's the other one? I can't remember the name of the other one. But what I'm hoping is that they have it's a rather isolated event. But we also saw from 2008 that the financial institutions, they are like. I wouldn't say corrupt, right? I wouldn't say corrupt, but what they did with that financial crisis is just absolutely unbelievable. If somebody would told me that before it came to light, that would be just insane. I wouldn't believe that person. So the worst case scenario here is that banks, a lot of banks in America, have the same strategy as Silicon Valley Bank, and it wouldn't really surprise me, even though it's pretty a stupid thing to do. It would not surprise me.
It's not. It's also, I mean, say the word corrupt. No, I think that's really appropriate here. Corrupt because, I mean, if that's true, I don't know if it's true. I just read about it, that we had like a case where bonuses just a couple of days before that surface were paid out to managers of the banks.
Yeah, it
I
did.
don't know
It
if it's
did.
true.
Yeah,
Is it true? I just
yeah.
read it.
That's
I cannot
from
confirm it, but
well, from everything I've seen, it seems true. So
for me, that's the definition of corruption. No, it's
yeah,
like it's.
they
I
did.
mean, I'm laughing about it, and actually, it's very sad, because it's on the backs of the depositors of those banks, and yeah, that's the thing. And I mean, and if we now look at the markets now, what makes me happy, of course, we are seeing. Yeah, thank you to for switching here to Bitcoin, Lips.
Oh, it's my short. All right. So, well, good thing
It's
I
your
had
shot, yeah.
trading
Yeah,
view,
it's
not
good.
something else.
You're like reading my mind, I think. We are we are actually seeing Bitcoin detaching a little bit. I have a feeling, and we touched base on this also last week already. I know that we are seeing Bitcoin detaching a little bit from being just, the copy paste asset of the S&P 500 when it comes to risk
Yeah,
on.
maybe we can look at perhaps look at the so here's S&P 500 below. So I think it's I mean it's interesting because I mean it does have a similar. I don't know what I'm doing, which one am I on? It's daily.
Daily, I need to click on this one. I think,
So I want like what I have on Bitcoin is definitely a possible break in market structure, and I don't think it's like it's not as obvious on the S&P 500 really. So there's definitely, there's definitely something interesting going on here with Bitcoin because like this looks like such a beautiful accumulation area, and we even like this whole level right here, right? It's just a beautiful accumulation area, and if you look at the S&P 500, it's if somebody showed me this shot, I would say that I technically I would probably be bullish on Bitcoin, but not on the S&P 500. So I do like the fact that Bitcoin actually started rallying here as a result of the banking crisis. And if you look at, if you look at what happened on, so that's the low on the S&P 500, and that's the low on Bitcoin. So it's like you can't even compare this, right? It's not even comparable. So Bitcoin just that the move that Bitcoin did is equal to S&P 500 breaking above this level, which would like be insane, right? That would just if the S&P 500 broke above this level, we would say that the risk on assets is definitely we're bullish again, like we're in the risk on scenario. So which also makes me think when we are in a scenario like that, Bitcoin is at resistance. We have an FOMC coming up in like 10 minutes. Bitcoin is at resistance. We have hit that which was the target one of that moved to the upside. So Bitcoin has hit that target, and S&P 500 in the stock market not super bullish. Bitcoin is at resistance. We got the FOMC coming up. Like the last time when we had the last stream where we talked about the CPI numbers. I remember saying that Bitcoin is at resistance. We're probably not going to break out. Now, of course, we did break out, but I'm going to have to take the same approach this time because more often than not, the resistance area will act as resistance. Now, that's I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it's I do really feel like. Man, this is probably one of the hardest meetings to try to predict the outcome of.
I agree. I agree.
The previous ones that was just Powell's just going to come out and he's going to say like we want to tame inflation. It's all about inflation. We're not going to stop the hiking of rates until inflation is under control. But now you have inflation and you have increase in rates and you have a banking crisis, and that banking crisis will only get worse if rates continue higher. I think they are, though. I think they're going to continue higher, and we might have
I think so too. But interestingly enough, Alex, before we started the stream, we were talking about how to approach this trading wise, and I remember you saying something like, I exactly know how I want to trade this event. Maybe you can share some of your insights with us so you can all profit. And by the way, guys, if you want to also trade an event like this or start on your career or continue your career as a trader, check out the description below this video, open an account with Prime XBT, punch in the promo code Academy March 23 for up to $7,000 in deposits and in bonus, on your deposit. And I think an event like this really, is, if you don't want to do it now, when do you want to do it? Alex.
Okay. Today I'd like to trade like I last time I mentioned I want to trade, but then it was obvious because the pump was real. This time I'm already prepared. I'm already in a long hedge position. So what does that mean? I traded this the whole day because of the high volatility today. We had around 2.5% upwards, and now we are 1% down with Bitcoin. I only trade Bitcoin today, And maybe I can share my screen and I can show how my
Please.
preparation is. My balance is small because I'm already in a kind of test mode of this strategy. It's more like only testing. What you see here is nothing else than a long position with a 0.5 take profit and stop loss. And the stop loss is already set with a short hedge position, also with 0.5% in a profit and stop. This is only a one-time hedge strategy. So if the price is going down now for 0.5 and then again for 0.5, then I take profit. And the interesting thing about this strategy is that the hedge position I calculated is exactly calculated that I compensate my loss from the first stop, plus I make the same profit. That's something I don't know if it's common, but it's really exact calculated. So I make profit in a 1% move in every direction. It's not important which direction it is. So for volatile times, this kind of trading strategy is something I prefer. Maybe I can show. Yeah, that's the way I calculate this. So you see, the idea is to make a lot of trades like these. So if the breakout is real, I'd make the next position long with the same strategy. And if the rejection comes, I take profit on the rejection. If the breakdown is real, I open again long because I'm overall bullish in the pattern for the daily and the hourly. And so this is my strategy at the moment. Yeah, it's enough. 0.5% volatility. It's enough for me to make a lot of trades. I can share, if you like, the trades today. For example,
Sure. I mean, that looked quite impressive when you showed that to me earlier.
You know, I already told you this is a test strategy, so the amount of money is not as big. But for example, these are my trades today. Every trade was in profit. Always, this was one trade with hedge, so I hedged and took and gone out without profit because of the spread. It was so hard, but at least 4%, 4%, 4%, 4%, which every trade I could do that with more money. But you know what? This is my test. And with my analysis tool, you see, I see strategy proved, one time hedged, and take profit reach directly. So I analyze my trades with my trading diary in my platform. So it's free, so everybody can use it. Yeah, and this is the current trade. It's already running. I have my screenshot of the current trade. And yeah, the situation is here described. And if my trade is going good, I take here my balance into it, and then it's gone. Then it's ready. So,
but one thing I would like to know, of course, and probably a lot of the guys watching this right now is, how do you make the decision like that? You think like, okay, the long side, as I saw you are trading today, this is the side I should be on.
Yeah. I only use the EMA ribbon signals. So I go on the daily and watch which long-term trend we are. We are over the EMA ribbon on the daily, and on the hourly we're also over the EMA ribbon. And I only take a trade if both signals are bullish or bearish. I can trade this strategy upfront with the long or upfront with the short. It's unimportant which direction, but it needs to be a clear direction which I have to trade. So
the daily, and what was that, the hourly you said?
The hourly, yeah, because I trade in a matter of hours now. Maybe if the trade is going good, I change to 1%, and then I'll take away the take profit, and then I move the stop loss. Let's see how volatile it will be. If we say a big move, maybe I change to a bigger range from 0.5 to 1% to 2%, so I can hedge both positions. But I need to be really fast then, and I need to calculate this with my tools in the edge of the situation. Yeah.
Very interesting. I mean, this is a good example of what Jonathan and I were also last time, I remember, talking about on your channel. Like, keep it simple, you know, like simple strategies can work. You just need to the determination to follow through and not change your strategy just because maybe you have like 1, 2, 3, or 4 trades in a row that don't go as planned. It's part of a game, and you can see just now what Alex showed us here, how impressive it can be. I was also very impressed like last week, when you traded this last time, because you don't see very often people trading news and being successful with it.
Yeah, but I have to add to this. It's all about discipline. If you see my account balance is only $300, I will raise that to 3,000 if this strategy works 50 times in a row. And if I'm able to trade this 50 times in a row, I scale up to $3,000. And if this works 50 times in a row, then I scale it to 30,000 and then to 300,000. Just in a matter of, when I mean in a row, I mean not always profit, but if I'm able to stay consistent in this strategy with my analysis and my trading diary, so that I will see in 3 months I may be consistent with this strategy, and then I can trade it with bigger money. So
it's kind of like tricking your own mind, like tricking, forcing yourself to follow the strategy in a consistent pattern and not changing it just because it didn't work like 2 or 3 trades in a row.
Consistency over profit. That's
the one recurring theme you hear from every profitable trader. That's why I just said, I think what was it, like 3 weeks ago, Jonathan, we talked on this topic on your channel as well, to stick to your guns, not change your system, and just trust yourself, when you found something that works.
Yeah, something interesting is, imagine if you do coin flip. So you have heads and tails, pretty much 50-50, right? But every time you get heads, you win. Your risk to reward is 1.3 on all your winners. You're going to be profitable. So if you do heads and tails, it's a 50% chance or whatever. Like it's like on any one individual coin flip, you have no idea what's going to happen, right? But if your win rate is good enough, you're going to be profitable having basically a random approach on a individual basis. And that's you stick to it. You have an idea, you stick to that over a large number of trades. Probably should look at the news because
we have like 1 minute to go here, so let's
are you going to take a position?
I have already.
The volatility is rising. I'm in profit in 1 second.
Really?
Profit is already reaching. Yeah.
I'm doing this trading competition on Prime XPT, and I'm thinking I'm just gonna take a long. And
so we are all long. I just took a long as well here, as you guys can see here. I bought a Bitcoin. That makes me nervous that we are all betting into the same direction.
My hedge position is already placed.
So let's see. 4, 3, 2, 1, and what is it? What is it?
Okay, take profit. Already reached.
Oh, wow, it's bouncing a bit like crazy. Let's look at the S&P 500 here. My God, my trading view cannot even load anymore because it's so overwhelmed. Anybody got the number already?
No, I'm trying to load here. I'm waiting for it. No, I can't.
Trading view is down, yeah.
It's 5, so it's forecasted 5. They raised it 25 basis points.
Okay, so as expected, as it seemed.
Yeah, pump is real, I think.
Okay, anybody got some charts, because mine just crashed basically.
Yeah, I got Bitcoin here. Well, okay, not really. Let's see if I have Bitcoin. Let's see.
Yeah. I take my next trade because my first one is already in profit.
Share your screen, Alex, with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already closed in profit. I can share it. Yeah, I can share it. Maybe it's interesting, maybe not.
Well, it's definitely interesting.
I take my next trade now, so I do it like I did last time. Okay, buy. I placed my order. Buy. Now I start a trade here. Now I need to calculate for this order my hedge position. I'm doing this really fast now. Zack. 1. Oh, that's too fast. My hedge is already open. Yeah. Good that my hedge is open from the last trade.
It's so cool that people have so different strategies. Like it takes me a while to understand this.
Me too. I honestly speaking, I haven't quite understood it yet. Especially the
basically
hedging part. I think we should do a special on that, like one
Yeah,
day.
it's
This was
interesting.
too fast. This was too fast. I close it. Yeah, that was too fast. I couldn't start my hedge position. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I'm liking gold. I'm really liking gold.
Where's gold, by the way?
Well, it's
I mean,
retesting.
I thought like I put out a volatility warning on the weekend because
Yeah.
I
Well, look at
assumed
this.
that
I
we
think
are
it's
going to trade well above $2,000, but it kind of bounced there.
yeah. What's hitting like it's right in that level, and obviously like getting. So I'm liking. I'm thinking about a long here. Like that is a good level technically, and it's it's moving right now. So I'm thinking I'll probably want to take a position somewhere here. I think the thing is like I had my signal on that candle, so I should have entered right there. Yeah, I'm getting an alert now. So I think that would be my trade, but I probably have to wait a while.
There has been moving quite a lot now. We came all the way down from 38, 37 there.
I got a guy in my community. He's watching gold as well. Like this is his response. Like, no, it's moving. I was just gonna enter that position. So yeah, god damn it, that would have been a good trade. I'm also short CAD CHF, which is looking a bit better. But yeah, I think gold was definitely the trade here. I think gold is going to perhaps reach the highs around that area.
Yeah.
If this holds.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to see much more volatility coming up when Jerome Powell starts talking. This is going to be the interesting part, of course, for especially institutional investors. What does he have to say about the relationship between potentially more interest rate hikes and the US banking crisis?
The problem here is, I have a strategy for FOMC. I always fade the initial move, but what's the actual move here? If you look at Bitcoin,
it's the 0.25%, the expected move. It's like a sideways move, in my opinion.
Yeah, so you're looking at the 1 minute, and it's like this is just a move taking out both the stops in both directions as usual. But the initial move is very unclear. Like usually, I would say that if you have a move that kind of goes like this, while the initial move is obviously bullish because it's breaking above. And what I would want to do then is short during the press conference down to where that move originated from. So we'll see. I mean, it's only 4 minutes, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes if we get that move higher.
I mean, right now, look at the hourly candle here. It's like you have a wick to the north, you have a wick to the south. You're kind of settling at the moment in the. So it's nothing, It's like repositioning, stop losses, take profits for sure as well. And I think we are going to see more of this, although we are moving up here now a little bit again right now until probably 7:30, and then the real action is going to take place once Jerome Powell starts talking.
Yeah.
How's your trade doing, Alex?
I was stopped because the volatility was too fast. Now as I mentioned last time, I scale up to 1% hedge range because it's too fast with this 0.5 at the moment. I can't trade this in this speed. I already placed my next position.
Share your screen, buddy.
Oh yeah,
we want to see it. You're always hiding your screen. You're very secretive.
No. I share no problem. So I place my hedge position for the next. So you can stop. You can see it in 1 second.
Just to mention it quickly here. Look at euro dollar. We are at 108.50.
So, okay,
Oh,
now
wow.
it's working well. So you see, this is the main position, and this is the short hedge position. And I already placed it now with 1% because 0.5 kicked me out in the last trade. So I was too fast. It's going to getting hedged and then it got closed. And this is because of two small ranges. Now you scaled up to 1% and now it's working well. So I can let a trade go. Yeah.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this is, I don't know what other channels you might be watching, but this is as real as it gets. You are seeing here three people really taking trades, taking risk here, risking their own money, putting their money where their mouth is. So again, if you are interested in following Jonathan and Alex, please check out the description of this video. You'll find link to their YouTube channels. Definitely give them a follow. Leave us also like and subscribe. This is how it's done, This is how professionals approach the markets. And as you can see, we sometimes like to gamble a little bit as well.
Guys, I think you should, like, if you look at the S&P 500, it has definitely broken above. So I think right now the chart we should be looking at is the S&P 500. I mean, very clear.
I think that's why we are seeing Bitcoin also trending a bit higher right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if this continues, which is, I mean, it's probably not going to continue. I mean, I'm thinking during the press conference we are going to move back down, but Bitcoin should, if this is a risk-on move, Bitcoin should continue higher. That's what I'm thinking. At least should continue higher. And
what are those nice like long triangles you have on the chart just now? Is that from your
this is the slingshot.
Yeah, slingshot.
I'm very glad you asked. This is the slingshot indicator. Let me show you this. This is incredible. So I've actually managed to take my system that I've been I've created my trading system for spent years creating this system, and I've finally been able to put everything into an indicator. So every indicator that I've ever used in TradingView is inside this indicator, and it's giving me like signals based on the system. It's absolutely amazing. So if you look at this trade, I don't think this was a signal though, but it's like gold. Gold gave us that long signal right in the same area, and now I've also added that it's going to give me a strong signal whenever it hits the right fib area. It's not loading for some reason.
That takes a while. I have that with my indicator, my custom-made indicator as well, because there's so much data it needs to load.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like over 1,000 lines of code now. But that's it's like, so it's that candle's going to print that long signal on gold. And I talked about how I wanted to long gold, and what's cool is every signal that is confluent with the fibs, I will get an alert to my Discord server, and then I can just pop up my phone and I can have this set up, because the indicator automatically adds the fib levels, and it automatically also adds the TP levels, and it's going to give me the average R of the trade and the stop loss levels. So I can just pick up my phone and I can see, is this a trade worth taking or not, and then I'll take the trade or not. So I haven't done any market scanning for the last 2 years, which is just insane. Every trade I've taken for the last 2 years is this indicator, the signals, which is just absolutely mind-blowing, because I remember like 3 years ago I was spending a lot of time going through the market.
And I read now on your Twitter that you are also sharing this indicator with some of your followers, right?
Yeah, so everything I do with RLZ trading, because like it's like I always say, RLZ trading, the community and everything, it's not about me making money. It's about trading. That's where I make my money. So RLZ trading is about helping people become full-time traders. So I'm only going to get this available to a select number of people, because I want to make sure that everyone that uses this indicator is actually serious about trading. So I'm only going to send it out in batches of like 10 to 15 until I feel that everyone has when I feel that a lot of people have the indicator, or a good number of people have the indicator, I will close it. So it's going to be only for like newsletter subscribers.
Hmm.
So if you're interested watching this, go to my Twitter profile and you can find the link to the newsletter, probably somewhere on my YouTube as well. So I'm really should probably have
Hot tip,
planned this
guys,
better.
definitely do that. I mean, you can see it on the chart here itself. It really works, and it's going to make your life such much more relaxed. And I think in combination with one new tool that Alex is offering right now, also that makes a lot of sense. Alex, I know you designed like an automatic trading diary, so to say, no, where you can analyze your trade. We saw something like this already that you did this earlier. Can you share maybe there's something with us?
Yeah, I can share if you like. Yeah, if you like, I can share. The idea behind this platform is nothing else than that you can set up your maximal risk per trade, your fees on the exchange, and then you can set up your strategy. For example, Alex strategy. You can tip in some rules. That's also important. And then you can set up, for example, indicators, or you can say long-term trend, and then you can add up settings. And if you start with your trade, I can switch the account that you can see it. Then it's easier for you to understand. Here, for example, is one of my accounts. And then you can set up here. You go through your through your settings, and then, for example, you get an analyzing what is your trend or are your signals. Then, of course, you start with diary. With your diary here, your decision making. You write about it. You see here your rules, and then the most important thing is you make your stop loss calculation. Then, for example, 1.3% stop loss, and then it calculates your position size based on your equity. For example, you have 1 Bitcoin, and then I say I have 1%, for example, 1% stop loss, and then he calculates how big can have to be your position size for this trade that you only lost 1% of your capital. So it makes your R value calculation. And then if you start your trade, you make your diary here, you get your trade, you can upload a screenshot of your trade. So you can make up your diary and watch here, for example, your last trades and have a look what trades look like. And for example, you can tag with analyzing your trades. You tag in your diary which trade runs like stock trade or stop loss hit or something like this. You tag this, and yeah, that's the idea of the tool, and it's free, and just people can use it then to become a better trader and to analyze it. I developed it for myself, so everybody can use it.
But that's incredible. I mean, I gotta say, that's really, really cool.
It is, this is like the one thing that every trader that is successful that I've met throughout my career does this. They have some kind of diary or some kind of tool where they track their trade, either to analyze that, or even if just, to write down here, these were my thoughts, my feelings, my intention when I entered the trade, when I exit the trade, to later go back and reflect upon yourself, And so, I mean, definitely, guys, both of them, go check out this tool that Alex is offering there right now. As I said, the link you'll find to the YouTube channel in the description of this video. Definitely also check out the RZL, no, RLZ. RLZ. Sorry, I always mix up 2 letters there.
Me too.
Indicator.
So that's okay.
It's good. I wish I would have had shortcuts like this, honestly speaking, when I started trading, but I didn't. I had to lose a lot of money.
The journal right there. I mean, having it in a journal like that, especially a journal that you can track statistics like tags, and then look at which tag, perhaps, I don't know if you can do that, but look at which tag and which combination of tags works the best, and just having a place where you can like let out your thoughts on the trades, and then, because that's what it's all about. I mean, trading is just trial and error. You test something, and if it works, you continue doing that, and if it works good, there's no point in changing.
Yeah, I changed the trading process into a mind game where I said it's not about a profit, It's about the statistic in my own tool. So I
Yeah.
want to beat.
Yes.
Want to beat the statistics for myself, and if I can beat that, I'm consistent in my trading. Then I can scale up. I don't scale up before I'm consistent in my database. So I can write into whatever I want, but I can cheat on myself. But
Yeah,
at the end of the
exactly.
day, my most problem when I started with trading was this psychological thing that I cheated on myself. Just to big sizes,
Yeah.
stop loss, to moving too fast, stop losses, taking too fast, take profit, all this stuff. I can't do that because when I take profit too fast, I know I lose it up. So it's a game for myself. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and also like you have it's like when I enter trades into my journal, I always tag them as according to plan or not according to plan. And if I have to tag a trade as not according to plan, it's just it hurts. It's just it feels really bad, and you just have to remember that it's all about trusting the process and just continue doing. And also you talked about how you're testing things, right? You're testing things, and you're testing it extensively before adding more capital. And I think it also gives you that confidence, right? So when if you've tested your system and you know that over 50 trades your win rate is this and your average R is this, so you know that statistically you're gonna have a losing streak of like 5, 6, 7 trades in a row sometime down the line, and you can be confident that you're not going to change systems when that time comes. Because I think that's the problem I did. I had a system, started losing, entered the losing period, and then I changed system. Now I've been trading the exact same system and the exact same setup since I think 2019, and I'm in a losing period right now, which is it sucks, but I'm only down 2%, on my account. And
I have a really strict rule. If I'm not consistent 1 week with following my strategy, I have to scale down to 0.5 R value. So I scale up every week. I'm consistent. And if I'm cheating on myself, even if I'm winning the trade, I have to scale down as a
yeah, that's
kind
really
of.
good.
So, at the end of the day, it's my money. And I'm allowing myself to lose all my money, but that's not a way to be a profitable trader long term. And
And also
and I'm also educating people with my YouTube channel. So I need to be someone they look up to see, okay, it's possible. Maybe you use a database like I do with my tool, and so it's free for everyone. Everyone can use it. So I think the possibility to be consistent is really there.
Yeah, and like you say, you have you're educating people on your YouTube channel, and obviously when you're educating people, you probably shouldn't do impulsive trading and taking trades that are not according to plan. I know that sometimes we do that. We all do. Like sometimes we're gonna take a trade which we know we should not take, and maybe it's a good thing to take it with lower risk. But the best thing is just not to take that trade. Sometimes I'm taking trades like that. I'm even posting some trades like in the community, and I get comments from members. They're like, what were you thinking here? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, So it's like, yeah, it's we all make those mistakes, but like you said, it's a really good thing, a really good risk management thing to be able to lower risk when you feel like you're not there mentally. When trading psychology doesn't really go your way, to be able to lower risk is what really will keep you profitable. Because in the beginning, all new traders, they increase risk, so you keep losing, and like, well, if the next trade, if I risk 10% and it's a winner, I'm gonna make it all back. That's okay, I'm gonna make it all back. So yeah, I think it's really good
So my
risk management.
position, I lost the last trade because the volatility. My position is smaller now because the R value is smaller. So it's really good. It's according to the new situation. Lower money, lower position size. I'm not emotional bonded in this trade because this is a strategy. I will trade it 50 times until I decide to scale up or not. So yeah, but I will note in my diary today, on Fed meetings, don't trade 0.5 hedge trading. So,
Yeah.
that's okay. I lost $10. it's all about learning. $10 is saving me $100,000 in future. So this is the idea of getting educated by you have to educate yourself with your own data and your own feelings and your own decisions. Nobody can tell this to you because you are some kind of different personality. Some people are more emotional, some not. That's it.
So, by the way, guys, can you still hear me? Oh, because I had some technical difficulties.
But your
I think your camera is
my camera is frozen. Yeah, I saw this as well. So I'm
well,
still there.
thank God, it's such a beautiful image, though.
It's okay. I look very concentrated on my current trade.
I didn't even notice first.
But yeah, I mean, let's maybe wrap it up here slowly. Like I'm looking through, like we don't have so many questions today. This is a kind of a curious one here, actually, in my opinion. Are you guys doing short or long?
My hedge trade is in short now. Just
that's a mean way to put it, you know. I'm hedging short, but I'm actually long.
I was long.
I'm still in that long. I think that's a bad idea, though. I think I should close that one.
I'm also, you know, now it's like $13 in loss. I think I'm going to close it as well because I don't want to put myself at the how to say that in English, you know,
the mercy of Powell.
Thank you. At the mercy of Jerome Powell. Yeah, exactly. You know, so I think that's a bad idea. So once again, Alex wins the race today, I think.
Again.
Why would
it's getting scary, yeah? Because you, with your hedging strategy, you made the bank today once again.
Oh God, no! First trade did well, the second not. But this one seems to be good at the moment. So let's see. We will see at the end of the stream. I don't know how long we stream, but maybe
we're going to finish very soon. But of course, guys, if you want to check out what Mr. Jerome Powell is going to say, and it's probably going to be interesting, it's probably going to move the markets very, very heavily. Stay tuned and go to the description of this video. Click on the link for the Prime XPT Academy Telegram channel. I'm going to try to keep up with commenting on that there, and I'm sure we're going to see some crazy moves, honestly speaking.
Yeah, by the way, that's a really good channel. If you're not in that one, I definitely recommend it. I really do like your updates on the macroeconomics. It's really good. So I'm following that.
Listen to what Jonathan had to say, Richard. So.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Of course, happy to see you there. You know, it's like one thing, of course, always doing YouTube videos, but on a channel like this, you can react more in real time, you know. And we saw that last weekend when the Silicon Valley Bank went down, how important that is, because it causes a lot of insecurity for everybody involved, especially if you're a beginner trader, obviously. So, gentlemen, thank you once again for being with me here tonight, for showing how it's done, for showing how professional trading is, and for putting your money where your mouth is. I really appreciate that. It was a lot of fun, and I hope we can do that again. If you liked also what you saw on this video, on this live stream, please leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and definitely go to the description of this video to check out Crypto Magazine, Alex YouTube channel, and Lips42, aka Jonathan channel. Almost every day, new content coming out there, and I truly believe, and it's not about believing. I mean, the guys just proved today, really, that they know what they are doing, and that it's definitely worthwhile your time to check out their channels as well.
Thank you.
And if you want to watch the FOMC, it's on. You know, Federal Reserve has an official challenge channel on YouTube. So you can search for. Did I say challenge?
Challenge.
YouTube channel on FOMC press conference. It's going to be interesting.
It is definitely going to be. All right. Thanks again. Take care, everybody. Also remember to use the stop loss, and see you very soon again. Bye-bye.